assuming I was the doorman. He was just standing there, so I went in. Then later in class...
All right, welcome back to another School Principal Reacts. I am taking a look at something that you all have asked for quite a few times. I know some of you fans of the show, Hey Arnold, it's been a while for you all since I've done an episode, so I wanted to do one. One of the ones that has come up quite a few times is one called Curly Snaps, and I don't know much about this episode. I know I have kind of figured out this is Curly here in the random still frame, and I guess he snaps. I don't feel great about that. I don't know really 100% what it means, but you all have said in the comments, oh, I want to get him to react to this. I don't know what I'm in for here. I do know that you all have recommended it, and usually that's good enough for me, but let's go ahead and get into this one. Just a quick reminder, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, just take a moment and click the link below to become one, and without further ado, let's get into it. Don't know what I'm in for here.
Okay, recess is over. Let's go, balls in. So, Arnold. Hi, Curly. Last day as ball monitor, huh?
Ball
It's
monitor.
pretty good being ball monitor, isn't it? I mean, you get respect as ball monitor, right?
Do you, though?
Guess so. You get to go to recess early and then stay late, putting the balls back in the net.
I've never heard of this, not in any official capacity, like they're describing most gym classes or physical education classes that I have seen and been to at all different schools. I mean, the kids just sort of jointly do that. Hey, everybody grab a ball and bring it in, not a ball monitor. I guess you could do that. Put one person in charge of making sure the equipment gets put up. I don't see that a whole lot though, but I guess at this school they have an official ball monitor, and he's saying that today is Arnold's last day doing that.
And best of all, you decide who gets a ball. That commands some hefty respect,
I
doesn't it?
guess.
Well, I never thought of it that way. Hey, need some help? Thanks, Curly. Well, I figure I better get used to carrying these.
Okay. Oh boy.
Today is my day. The
Somebody's
day
a little
I become
obsessive.
ball monitor. I'll smile and be pleasant. Heck, I'll be downright amiable. A real bon vivant. That Curly is one real bon vivant.
And I don't know this character all that well, but I'm guessing from the few comments that I've read in the comments section and just his general appearance and how in his mind people are being nice to him that they don't think all that well of him. He does look a little odd there, and he was drawn that way on purpose, but let's see what happens here with this.
Hold the door open for my fellow students. I'll let people answer questions in class I couldn't easily answer. Wait, I actually know. I'll even let people cut in front of me. You know, Curly's all right. At recess, the announcement will be made. Mr. Simmons.
And there's nothing wrong with, wanting to be nice to people and earn people's trust and respect. I don't disagree with that part at all. I'm guessing just from the episode title and things you all have mentioned, I'm guessing it's going to go south real quick, but there's nothing wrong with wanting, to be respected by people. Nothing wrong with that.
Will gather us all together?
Well, class, it's Monday recess.
Okay.
And that can only mean one thing. This week's ball monitor is...
Uh-oh.
Sid.
Okay, come and get him.
Yeah, and my question is, why did he somehow know that he was going to be ball monitor? Even though, again, at a lot of schools I've served at, that's not the case. Then again, I haven't really worked in too many elementary schools, so maybe that's more of an elementary school thing. But he picked Sid instead, and I don't know why he assumed that it would be him. I don't think, or he didn't say they go on any kind of schedule or whatever. He just said an announcement will be made, but let's see what happens here.
But today is my day. I'm the one, it's me.
Curly, is something wrong?
Yes, I'm this week's ball monitor. I'm the ball monitor. I am me.
Actually, Curly, Sid is our ball monitor this week. I have it on my chart back in the classroom. Don't worry, your turn will come. Hey, You too, that paint is toxic. Please don't eat it.
Don't eat the paint. Yeah, and if he has it in a chart on his desk or in his classroom, wouldn't Curly know that? As obsessive as he is, wouldn't he check that chart like obsessively almost and know exactly when it's his turn? Unless, of course, Mr. Simmons is wrong, but it doesn't really seem like him. I'm wondering who made the mistake here. Okay, where are the teachers? Again, no teachers?
Acting a little strange to the
Kids are throwing things and there's no teachers, especially in elementary school. I mentioned that I haven't done much work in elementary schools, but I do have some exposure. And I mentioned before in another video that the younger students are, the more tightly controlled their schedule typically is, and the more supervision those students are going to require. So there's going to be like multiple teachers in here really just standing around watching their every move. I mean, that's just the way it is. And it's for the students' safety, of course, too. And I saw kids throwing things across the room. I mean, there's that also. You can't do that. And that's something that the teachers would be watching for. I haven't seen a single teacher yet, at least in this lunchroom. Let's see what happens next.
Today, he strains every day.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, who's supposed to be watching him? Mr. Simmons. Mr. Simmons is a good teacher. I remember him as being a good teacher, but from the episode New Teacher, check it out if you haven't seen it, my reaction to it, but he's supposed to be watching him. So whenever the class comes in and he notices that Curly's not there, he should instantly go outside in the hallway and start looking around. You don't just say, oh, Curly's not here, let's just keep on going, or not notice. You don't do that. So let's see what Curly does here. Okay. Principal Wartz. I remember Principal Wartz from the, I think it was the suspended episode. I think that's what it was called. And from the tier list video also. But let's see what he does.
I was going to find about there. Ball monitor this week, are you? Excellent. Lots of responsibility.
What? Not really. Lots of responsibility. Okay.
Son, open this door now. You're in my office. What do you possibly think you're doing?
I'm not opening this door.
Okay. Curly, this might be Curly's last day at this school. If it were real life, I don't know what's going to happen here. I remember Mr. Wartz suspending, what's his name, for like 5 weeks or something ridiculous for, what did he actually do? He called him a name or something, and he just kept getting suspended over and over again. Didn't call his parent. That's why Mr. Wartz, I think, got either D tier or F tier on the tier list video. But here, Curly, he would be put out of the school possibly if he did this, at the very least suspended. Let's see what happens. He has locked himself inside Principal Wartz's office and is refusing to open the door. That would be a huge deal. Let's see what happens here.
I'm not coming out. I'm mad as heck, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
What are you talking about?
Turns out I am not the ball monitor this week. I wanted the responsibility.
Yeah, but again, like if Mr. Simmons really had it on a chart, like he would want the students to see that. He's not going to hide it. He would almost use it like as an incentive, and he would want students to know who it was, unless, well, he said he made an announcement. So unless he like kept it to himself, but then went through a regular schedule. But why? Again, I guess there is no answer to this, because without this, there wouldn't be a plot. Like, why would Curly believe that he's the ball monitor? What evidence did he have, if any? Probably none, but let's see what he does here.
Oh, I can taste it, and I'm not having a fine day. In fact, something has gone terribly, terribly wrong.
I'll say something.
Just that, though?
You come out right now.
Something's gone terribly wrong, just him not being ball monitor. And again, I kind of laughed when Principal Wartz said, oh, lots of responsibility. It's putting balls away. That's pretty much the extent of it. That's it. And he goes from not being the person who happens to put the balls in the net bag after recess to locking himself inside the principal's office and refusing to open the door. That seems like a little bit of an overreaction, wouldn't you say?
Or you'll be facing some very unpleasant times ahead. I'm warning you.
Okay.
Here's Curly.
Oh!
Okay. Okay, a school resource officer. You can come on down now. So he's locked himself in the principal's office, and he has a key. I mean, there's a key. You just open the door. I don't know why in this situation he doesn't have a key, and you don't leave your keys in your office. You just don't do it. And then he hits him with a ball. He's going to an alternative school, probably. This is his last day at this school, at least if it were a real school. Let's see where this goes here.
That's one.
Ooh.
One for me and 498 to go.
He's a few short of 500, I think. In a rainstorm. Okay.
I heard Curly's gone and holed himself up in Principal Wartz's office with a bag of balls. My bag of balls. And now he won't come out.
Okay, young man, I'm going to count to 3.
Yeah, and if that did happen, it would generate quite a bit of discussion about it amongst the students. Now, would they be allowed to just stand around in the hallway and talk about it and watch this little situation as it unfolds? No. And he has to have his keys. If he left them in his office for them to be locked in there, that's his fault. I don't go hardly anywhere without my keys because I'm just so fearful that I'm going to do this. So they stay on me no matter what. And someone else is likely going to have a key somewhere, somehow, that can come unlock it. But if this happened, I mean, you may have to call either the police or the fire department or whatever to get him out of there. It's kind of a safety issue for Curly as well. And even though that Curly is in quite a bit of trouble here, the school is still responsible for his well-being. And let's say he somehow got hurt in there, Principal Wartz might have to do some answering for that, especially if it becomes known that it was his fault, that he created the circumstances for him to lock himself in there, and if he ends up getting hurt. But in real life, this would be Curly's last day at the school. I'm pretty confident in that, but let's see where we go from here.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
I knew he'd come to his senses. Stand back, children. He's coming out.
Maybe. No. Pelt him with some more balls.
Hey, what'd you do that for? Get back! Back, I say!
And do they just not have class now? Where's Mr. Simmons and the rest of the teachers, if there are other teachers? Or are they just freely standing around the hallway? And again, if this really happened, you wouldn't want this. People watching this go down, it's not helpful. It's only going to stir things up more. Plus, the kids are supposed to be learning and they're not. And it's just going to spiral more out of control. You want to get everybody in class so that you can then deal one-on-one with Curly or bring other people in to help if you need to. You don't typically need police in an elementary school for the students on the inside. It's more to protect them from the outside if they have that at schools, or if they're at a school that would have that. But in a situation like this, you might need their assistance, but let's see.
I think Curly's finally snapped. No kidding. You guys, Curly's snapped. He's throwing kickballs at Principal Wartz. My kickballs!
And I'm laughing too because Sid seems to place just as much importance on the fact that they're his kickballs because he's the ball monitor than the fact that Curly has locked himself in the office and is throwing them at the principal. But they're like, but they're my kickballs. That's just kind of funny.
It's finally happened. Our demented Curly has gone over the edge.
Curly? Snapped? How terrible. Terribly sad.
Yeah, terrible. You shouldn't really be laughing at it. I mean, that's what little kids are going to do. I mean, the majority of them, they are going to find that funny. But yeah, it is kind of terrible. But nonetheless, you've got to get him out of there. You've got to find a key, or worst case scenario, break into there, get someone who can break in or somehow get access and get him out of there. And again, that would be his last day at this school.
There's a grand brouhaha outside Principal Wartz's
Why is
office.
she like
Let's
Scottish
go.
or Irish?
Young man, young man.
His name.
Yeah, and again, you don't just let them stand around holding books up to block dodgeballs. Like, don't they still have class? And you would want them out of there so they don't have to witness this whole thing.
It's Curly, Mr. Principal Wartz.
Oh, thank you. Curly!
Thaddeus. My name is Thaddeus. Thaddeus Curly Gammelthorpe to you, Wartz.
Well, Mr. Gammelthorpe, let's talk like civilized human beings.
This is going to be a
What is
negotiation.
the problem here?
I'll tell you what the problem is. Injustice! Day in and day out.
Ball monitor. That's the big injustice. And there's not really an injustice because unless Mr. Simmons is wrong, which I don't know him to be wrong in the episodes I've seen him in, it just wasn't his turn. It just wasn't his turn yet. And he thought it was. He thought it was, but it wasn't. And so now he's crying about injustice and going over the school intercom. He is going to stir up such trouble. They've got to get him out of there. At this point, it's like, okay, just break the door. Just break the door and get him out. If he's going to begin going on the intercom school wide, the school is going to have more issues with that, with the community allowing that to happen, than just going in and putting him in handcuffs if you have to, even though that's sort of harsh. But you have to get him out of there. You wouldn't typically get that harsh at an elementary school, but in a situation like this, you might. If a child really locked himself in there, started hitting people with stuff, got on the intercom, yeah, you break the door at that point. But I'm guessing they're not going to do that. Let's see.
But the ultimate injustice is what happened today.
No.
Today I was denied my sacred.
Yeah, it's injustice what you did, Curly, today, not anybody else. You just should have said, oh, well, I thought it was my turn, but I guess my turn will come. That's what Mr. Simmons said. So I guess maybe I can ask him when we get back to the classroom what week is actually my turn. But no, he didn't do that. He snapped. And it's not funny. It really isn't. But you can't allow this to go on and on. You just can't, because it's also about the safety of the entire rest of the school, and you're allowing this one person to just sort of hold them hostage. There's no learning going on right now. So Mr. Wartz needs to get in there and stop it or call for help, and he's not really done either of those things.
Right to be this week's ball monitor. And
He's just Mr. Simmons is eating some noodles by himself. Are the kids supposed to still be out at recess? Is that it? I didn't think so. So what's going on here?
right to accept that responsibility. But did I get it? No.
And they're
why?
like, okay.
Because I was slapped down by the man.
Oh, my word. I hope I'm not too late.
What's he gonna do?
For weeks, I studied the proper ball monitor procedures and etiquette.
Really?
I awaited my turn. I looked forward.
All the procedures except who was actually supposed to go. Procedures and etiquette. We're talking about taking balls and putting them into a mesh bag. I mean, that's pretty much it. And I'm wondering what Mr. Simmons is going to do. Is he going to tell him that he's actually the ball monitor just to kind of get him out of the office? Let's see.
To getting my shred of respect. Man, he really wanted to be ball monitor.
Yeah, no kidding, Arnold.
Ball monitor. You have to lug those balls in and out, and then you gotta collect them all over again.
Yeah, I was about to say, a lot of kids probably wouldn't want to be ball monitor, because if you're not, you can just say, oh, here's my ball, put it in the bag. And this may be some clever conniving by the teachers and making it seem like an honor when it's really just sort of helps out, or maybe giving them some sort of privilege in exchange. They mentioned getting to recess early or something like that. But let's see where we go from here.
When you're done.
Curly, it's me, Mr. Simmons speaking. We all respect you and think you're special. Now, why don't you open the door and...
Save your new ageisms for the
New
sex,
ageisms.
granola boy.
Oh!
I'll handle this, Simmons. This boy is obviously disturbed. I'm gonna ram the door. Grab the kid, get him in a headlock.
Please, Principal Wartz, he needs sensitivity now more than ever.
Okay. So they're sort of both right in a sense. They're both right and they're both wrong. So Mr. Simmons is right that he does, in a sense, need sensitivity, but the immediate need is you get him out of there. You get him out of there, and then you see about, okay, what do we need to do? Does he need some sort of therapy, treatment, counseling, whatever it is? Let's try and meet his needs, whatever those may be. But you don't just leave him in there and holding the whole school hostage, really. With getting stuck in this office while you figure it out. No, you get him out of there first. Now, as far as putting him in a headlock or whatever Wartz said, no. You just open the door and then, take him by the arm and lead him out of there, and that's it. You don't have to do anything else. Elementary school, you don't do headlocks. You maybe just take him by the hand and lead him away. And then, just like Simmons said about sensitivity, meaning that you talk to him and you go a little deeper as far as what's troubling you. Let's talk about having you see the counselor or therapist, talk to your parents about those options, and kind of go from there.
Please let me reason with him.
Reason? reason with me.
Guess not.
The likes of you. I'm too
And he's going to run out of dodgeballs or whatever kind of playground balls those are eventually, right? He's thrown like 10 of them already.
smart for your executive games.
Nice job, Mr. Sensitive.
No, just give me time. We'll talk him down. Curly, what's happened here? Why are you in Principal Wartz's office with all of the school's kickballs?
Why? You should know of all people, Simmons. For weeks, I marked the days off my calendar, one by one. Till today, the day I would finally be appointed ball monitor. I opened the front door to PS 118, and everyone walked in past me, just assuming I was the doorman. Well, he was just standing there, so I went in. Then later in class...
Oh, man. He's like, well, he was just standing there, so I went in. Yeah, poor guy. I feel sorry for everybody in this episode, really, Curly and all the other students. But hopefully they get this thing resolved here.
Harold answered the bonus question that I was about to answer.
It was Harold.
Harold stole the question from me. Another injustice.
He answered the question.
He let me answer that question.
Curly, you let Harold answer that question.
And then Sid takes my place at the drinking fountain and is rewarded by the system by getting my job of ball monitor. I've got an idea. Why don't you take over as ball monitor? I could do it next week. I don't want your ball monitor.
Well, what do you want? I mean, I thought that was the whole thing. What does he want at this point? So Sid offers to give him the rest of the week as ball monitor. Again, this would be the last day he attends this school, but let's just say it wasn't for some reason, and he still turns that down. Like, what then does he want? That's the whole thing, I thought, was this ball monitor position. So what is he going to say here? Let's see.
Week, I wanted my own.
Listen, Mr. Camelthorpe.
It's Gamelthorpe.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, you're running out of time and I'm running out of patience. What are your demands?
My demands? Okay, I'll tell you my demands.
Okay, let's hear
I
it.
want 2 Yahoo sodas and a meatball sub.
He's playing hardball.
And I want them delivered by someone I can trust. Last week's ball monitor, Arnold.
Congratulations.
Okay, and I'm like, why him? Why can he trust him and not anybody else? Because I guess he was just ball monitor, so he won't be a threat to that. This is really wild, really. And his demands aren't really demands. They're just food. Like, what long-term does he want? He doesn't want to be, he wants, I guess, his own week of ball monitor. It wasn't good enough that he would have the rest of Sid's week. Wow. And he's got to know, like, my life at this school is over at this point. As soon as I come out of this office, it's over. So there's really no end game for him, but let's see.
I've got 300 more kickballs in here,
No,
and
you
I'm not
don't.
afraid to use them.
You have like
Damn.
15. And as harsh as it sounds, at this point, if you really, like, if there's no key and he starts throwing stuff, you get an SRO or a police officer down there, or at least some help. If not that, you've got to get that door open and get him out. Or what do? Do you just not have school anymore? I mean, you have to get him out. This is really, really wild. And look, he's got the Yahoos, whatever he said. He's got the soda here. I can't remember what he asked for, and a sub sandwich. Let's see if he lets him in here.
Job, Arnold.
You get Curly to open that door and we'll rush in and grab him.
Don't you think we should try to talk to him?
We're doing my plan. That's what we're going to do, not your talking plan.
Shh. Now just let him try. Remember, sensitivity.
Look, we're dealing with a dangerous element here.
It's just Curly, Principal.
It's just Curly. Now, on the other hand, he's been in there quite a long time now. You do sort of have to get him out. You did try to reason with him, and he's just refused. You do sort of have to get him out by any means necessary, but it is an elementary school student. You don't have to, again, you just take him by the hand and lead him out, really. But let's see where this goes. This does not look like a sub sandwich to me. It looks like a hot dog or a baked potato or something. But let's see.
The Wartz, and they're just kickballs. They're not dangerous. Curly,
Kind of.
I've got the Yahoo and the meatball sub. Open the door, and I'll give them to you. You think I'm an idiot? You've probably got some plan. No, Curly, I've just got the meatball sub.
Yeah,
Open
you
the
asked
door.
for that.
Okay, but first, everyone, back away. Get back.
Okay.
Move it, people. You wouldn't double-cross me, would you? No, Curly. Okay, Arnold, come in.
Okay.
Willikers! Now we've got ourselves a hostage situation. Yahoo! Ain't nothing nothing to it but to do it.
Yahoo.
Curly, why are you doing this? Because I was supposed to be ball monitor. I can show you my calendar.
Look, if you really think you were supposed to be ball monitor, then let's talk to Mr. Simmons about it.
Yeah.
We need to talk to Mr. Simmons.
Yeah, why didn't you just do that in the first place? This makes no sense, but let's see.
Let's see.
Oh, he let him
There's
in.
Harold, Eugene, Rhonda, Sheena. Oh, I see where I lost you. Look, the week of the holiday. I didn't carry it over to the week of the 12th. Curly, you are absolutely right, and I was wrong. You were supposed to be the ball monitor this week.
I knew it. I knew it.
Great. Let's get.
Yeah, and did you hear what he said? This does happen if you have something that goes on like a recurring schedule. You do have to take into account the holidays. So if you have a holiday week, you've got to skip that week for whatever it is and go to the next week, and he evidently didn't do that. And so I was thinking at the beginning of the episode, either Curly's wrong or Mr. Simmons made a mistake. So evidently Mr. Simmons made a mistake. But again, you don't go to these links. The answer isn't lock yourself in the principal's office. You just, you go back. You could have gone back to the classroom like Mr. Simmons suggested and look at this chart that he has, and now they're doing it. And I'm guessing Simmons is going to talk him down, so to speak. He could just open the door and let everybody in, but I'm guessing he's not going to do that here.
Get out of here.
Oh, no. Not until I have a deal in place.
A deal.
We need Sid.
We need Sid.
Oh my
How
goodness.
about you take over tomorrow, do the rest of the week, and also next Monday. Then I'll take over for the rest of next week.
Nah, too messy.
How about if you just let Sid finish out this week and start your week next week?
Mm-hmm.
Curly?
Well, we'll have to hammer out the details, but
What details? What details?
Curly, I'm proud of you for coming to this very...
I'm proud of you. Too bad you're not going to be at the school anymore because, I mean, look at this office. The bookshelf is propped up against the wall. He has pelted the principal, a teacher, and a bunch of other kids. And let's say they don't take action against him. The parents of the other kids that had their class interrupted were not able to learn the rest of the day or however long this was supposed to be and got hit in the head with the balls. Do you think their parents are going to be upset if they do nothing? I certainly would, but no, this would be his last day. There would be no more ball monitoring, but I'm guessing that's not the case here.
very reasonable agreement. Let's go back to class, shall we?
Go back to class like nothing ever happened,
what
right?
happened?
Any bloodshed?
Absolutely not.
Bloodshed.
We solved the problem in a peaceful manner.
And, you know, it is very admirable for Mr. Simmons to model that for him, but this is a little bit different situation, a little bit extreme here. And where's Wartz? What's he going to say about this?
I think we all learned a valuable lesson here today.
Yep. Don't ever trust the quiet ones. They'll go bonkers and hole up in the principal's office.
No.
Come on, class. We've got just enough time to finish watching the slides of my visit to Tierra del Fuego.
Okay.
All right, son, come with me.
I was about to say. I was just waiting for it here. Goodness.
Where are you taking me? I thought we worked it all out. Remember Principal Wartz? Sensitivity!
Sensitivity.
I'll give you sensitivity. I'll give you a week's worth of sensitivity every day after school.
Hey, I'm not supposed to be in detention. Come on, I'll go.
Detention? Really? Detention for that? That seems extremely generous. That is being sensitive, I would say.
Detention, no! Come on, I'm the ball monitor!
Okay, well, that's the episode, Ball Monitor. I can see why you guys wanted me to review that episode. Yeah, he ended up getting some detention, I think once for a week or something, or every week or whatever he said. That is extremely generous in a real world situation. I think that student would probably be gone, or at least a fairly hefty long-term suspension, not just some detention time. But they were able to hammer out an agreement there. It's kind of funny, all that over a Ball Monitor. And a lot of kids didn't even want that. Because it's really extra work for them. But thanks for the recommendation for you Hey Arnold fans, or really for any show other than our recurring series of SpongeBob SquarePants and Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. Feel free to throw those suggestions in the comments. I do read every one of those and take those into consideration. Do consider becoming a subscriber if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And I'm going to leave it here. I'll see you on the next video here on School Principal Reacts. Thanks for watching.